My name's John. My wife and I make furniture, and we bought this old building 3 years ago. At one time, it employed about 200 people in a very small town. The factory was built as a large sewing shop that made men's dress shirts. Many of the cast iron machine parts are still sitting in the dirt. When it came time to building our home in the factory, Dina fashioned a pretty clever idea to bring these old parts back to life. The goal was to recast them into a needle and thread shaped chandelier that paid tribute to the building and the trade that filled it. The very first step? To design a giant sewing needle and then make it out of wood.
Okay, so I have my semi-professional setup right here. And this is the moment where you might break your tool because you've never done this before.
I mean, look at this thing. It's like half of a real needle. Once we had our wooden needle, we worked with our friends at Salem Artworks for the rest of the casting process. Over the next several days, we built a 2-part sand mold to pour our molten metal pieces into. Although we couldn't film our own metal pour because we were busy assisting, this is what a metal pour looks like. The first step is to glue on gates to your sand mold. This essentially gives the molten metal an entry point and an exit through your pattern. Once the furnace is up to temperature, you fill it with the metal of your choice. On the day that we were filming, Salem Artworks was pouring aluminum. Once the crucible holding the molten metal was filled, it could be taken out of the furnace and poured into the molds. This is a very heavy and very hot, multi-person job. What I'm filming now is one continuous pour for multiple art projects. Also, a bit of a plug here. If you're ever interested in welding, glass blowing, ceramics, blacksmithing, or nearly any other art-related endeavor, please look up Salem Artworks. They're a fantastic organization, and we're happy to call them neighbors. Once our needle had cast and cooled, there was a lot of cleanup to be had. This meant lots of grinding, cleaning, and polishing before we could hang our new sewing needle light fixture. When the needle started looking, well, shiny like a needle, then I knew I was done. Even though Dina and I have built a life out of making things we've never made before, this project really struck a chord. We're both still blown away that somehow the image in our brains of a needle and thread light made it into real life. Stay tuned as we try and record more about our building. Thanks for watching.